Hello guys, and welcome back. In the last section, we've been able to successfully install our Formidable Pro plugin. So today we are going to mess around a little bit with the global settings of the plugin. Let's quickly jump into it. This is the site we actually started building. I want us to move to our dashboard and have a look at what is going there. Okay, so this is our dashboard and this is our Formidable Pro plugin. Alright, this is our Formidable Pro plugin. So we want to have a look at the global settings. But before then, let's quickly rush through the other sections of this plugin. The forms area is just a place for you to create a new form. Right? Just know it that way. We will get to all that in the later sections. Let's quickly have a look at the entries. The entries will be displaying all the entries that has been input or that has been submitted through any form that you actually design. Let's have a look at the views. In later sections, we'll be creating views to display all the entries that has been made through your forms on this interface. Those views will be displayed on your forms. Alright, let's have a look at the styles. The style is just accounting for the look and the feel of your Formidable Pro form. So to actually make a field either big or small, it will depend on the styles that you've actually applied to that form. Let's quickly rush into the import and the export. The import and the export is just to give you a way to import entries or any other information that can help your Formidable Pro plugin into the Formidable Pro plugin settings. And the export is exporting all or any settings that has been made initially in the system onto a backup to be used for later purposes. Let's now have a look at the global settings. So this is our global settings, or the main thing that we want to discuss. This is the interface. We start by the general settings interface, and then these are your license key. Remember, this is where we actually synchronize the system when we are trying to move from the light version to the pro version. And here this is upgrading to the elite plan. Now remember, when we went to Formidable Pro, I've shown you that we have 3 packages. Alright, and we actually went in for the package in the middle, that is the recommended one, but we are still left to pay for another package that takes you to a higher and maximum level of the Formidable Pro. But for now, we would still like to stay in this version. Now here is to disconnect your site. Disconnecting your site is just a way of decommissioning your site. Perhaps you don't want to use Formidable Pro form on your site again or on a particular site. So you actually click here to disconnect the Formidable Pro from your site. Now here is to check for any updates available in the Formidable Pro. Now let's have a look at the styling and the scripting. Now your styling is just all about the CSS styles that are applied to your Formidable Pro forms. So here they are asking us to check this in order to not use the CSS grid from the layouts. Now here I think it's just a matter of browser compatibility. Some of the CSS that were actually applied earlier on in the other versions were for other browsers. So now they just want you to either disconnect those settings for the compatibility issues. Here is to fade in forms with conditional logics on a particular page. Now later on we'll be learning what conditional logics are. Now conditional logics are just basically particular fields or forms that we either show or hide, or actually populate a particular information when a particular condition is met. It's just as the way we program in other languages to use the if statement. So if a particular condition is met, then we want this action to be performed. So this is what the conditional logic is actually all about. And the other tab is about the date format. The date format is actually very important when, depending on the kind of system you are actually building and what you actually want to achieve in your particular system you are building. So these are the date formats available that we have, and for now we still just want to maintain this. This currency tab, it allows you to select a particular currency for the system you are building, and I think this is at the e-commerce level. Mind you, I actually told you Formidable Pro could be used to build a full e-commerce website or e-commerce system. So this is the currency level. Let's quickly go to the message default. The message default is just default message that comes or that are shipped with the Formidable Pro form. So let's say, for instance, if you duplicate a particular entry, this is the default message that pops up for you. We are sorry, it looks you've already submitted that. So you can actually change this to be something else. The same thing applies to the blank fields. If a particular field is supposed to be a mandatory field or marked as required, and you've not filled in anything, or the user hasn't put in anything on that particular field, this is the exact message that comes out. But you can equally customize these messages on a particular field when you are actually using the field. So as soon as you import any field, this message comes or ship with it automatically. But you can equally change it at that particular level, but not here. Here is just for the global stand changes that you want to make. So anything over here is just the global provision or what has been shipped, the messages that has been shipped with the Formidable Pro plugin. You can actually change it anytime. So let's move at the permission. So in the permission, it's just an access you are giving to all these functionalities in the Formidable Pro. So let's say, for instance, the view forms like this, where you want only administrator to have a look at it, but subsequent users can actually also have access on this particular form. So it's just a matter of you of actually allowing them to use it. So if you look at the add and edit forms like this, we want only administrator to actually have a look at this particular form. Let's quickly go to the recapture. Now, I think you know what a recapture is. Recapture is mostly used on forms that are used to verify if the particular user is not an AI or any robot trying to submit a particular form. So Formidable Pro actually gives you an access to also have that security feature on any form of your choice at all. Okay, so let's quickly have a look at the white labeling. The white labeling is just a way of branding your Formidable Pro form plugin inside your admin dashboard. So for this, we have demo Formidable here, and this is what it's appearing over here. So we can decide to change this particular name by just remaining or by just allowing to be only Formidable. Alright, so this is an icon that actually defines the Formidable form plugin in your dashboard. So as we are maintaining this, we actually want to also maintain this particular icon here too. So the next thing left for us to do is to update this particular thing to see if our changes will be infected. Alright, so this is it. We've actually updated this white labeling of the Formidable. This is not actually showing here because we've not refreshed the page yet. So let's quickly refresh the page to see if our form. Alright, so guys, you can see that after you've changed this, the demo Formidable to Formidable, this has actually changed accordingly. That's nice. Let's quickly have a look at the add-ons. The add-ons, remember guys, I was telling you there are third-party plugins that help the Formidable Pro form to function in another level altogether. Okay, it gives other extra functionalities to the default access or the default functionalities that are shipped originally with the Formidable Pro plugin. Let's say, for instance, the Bootstrap add-on, for instance, it actually adds a Bootstrap styling to all the Formidable forms. So as soon as we do this installation, it's going to add Bootstrap to our forms. So you can use any Bootstrap styling onto any form at all of your choice. Some of the add-ons are not free. You can't just install them. They are paid version, or they are versions that are included in the elite version of your Formidable Pro plugin. So for instance, when you look at the constant contacts, this is the license required to actually install the constant contact. So now the license we have, these are the add-ons that we can actually unlock with the license that we currently possess. So you can actually have a look at it and learn a bit about what all these add-ons are all about. let's quickly move to the SMTP, the Simple Message Transfer Protocol. So over here, Formidable Pro allows you to install and configure your SMTP into your Formidable Pro plugin for it to be sending mails in and out. Initially, Formidable Pro wasn't having this particular option, so that made it very difficult, or sometimes quite challenging for us to fully achieve the message sending automation. Sometimes messages that are sent are directly gone into spams and all that because our SMTP was automatically selected, or you actually have to reconfigure that within your WordPress environment. But I think this is a very good thing that Formidable Pro has actually brought to light for us to install and configure our SMTP within the plugin itself. So basically, this is what the whole Formidable Pro thing it's all about. It's all about the forms, the entries, the views, the styles, the import and exports, the global settings, the add-ons, and the SMTP. Okay guys, I think we've come to the end of these sections, and I'll see you in the next tutorial. Stay safe. Bye.